Hey everybody, this is Nova19 here with my first playthrough of the Stanley Parable. This is taking a while to load. Perhaps if you all just morally supported the loading bar, it would load that much faster. Just take 2 minutes. Oh, I can see it. Yes, I can see your moral support of the loading bar is working. It just jumped a little. So if you can give it a little bit more moral support, go on. I think you can do it. Just a little bit more. Oh, there you go. Oh, just a little bit more. You're almost there. Go on. You can do it. Just give it a little more support. Go on. You can do it. Just a little bit more. You're almost at the finishing line. You're almost at the Stanley Parable. Go on. Go on. Oh, it's never going to get there. Oh wait, yes it is. Yes it is. And the Stanley Parable is imminent.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I wonder how long I can stay here without having to move. Just stay here for every possible second I can. Not even going to move an inch. Not even going to flex my muscles. Not even going to breathe. Well, that was boring. Let's explore.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Excuse me, but you must turn off all monitors in the office space. This is a green work area. Another one. Good God, you people. I hate Mondays too.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I most
Perhaps
certainly
he
did.
Stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, why not?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It is a fine employee lounge.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
It's like he knows exactly what I'm doing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Maybe I'll find an answer in my boss's office. I agree with that slide. That's exactly how you resolve a dispute with your co-worker. You let it all bottle up inside.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The executive bathroom. I want to go in the executive bathroom. Why can't I go in? Damn it. Damn you all.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I
What
wonder.
he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I think this keypad might lead to this awful truth my boss has been hiding from me. Let me try a random combination of numbers in the hope that I will succeed.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what 2845.
I think it's 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Going down. And how are you all enjoying the Stanley Parable so far? It's a journey of the ages, is it not? The journey of Stanley.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Why do I feel so peculiar?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
The Mind Control Facility, a name dripping with evil intent. Or the escape hatch. Or the Mind Control Facility, dripping with evil intent. Or the escape. I think I will go for the Mind Control Facility. That drips with evil intent. Light bulb.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
That's a lot of TVs.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where freedom meant nothing. 600 TV screens and nothing good on.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I really do like the narrator in this game.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I will dismantle the controls once and for all. It can't be this easy, can it? On, off. Ah! End of game. Game over. That wasn't the game ending, that was my computer shutting down.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Seriously, where was he working when all this was happening? New Zealand or something? Well, anyway, that is my first playthrough of the Stanley Parable. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be uploading more playthroughs, but as for now, Nova 19 out. See ya.